Hey guys, today's PR's workout of the day. We are going into our kettlebell skill work for the month. The overhead squat is our main focus and goal as we progress through these. Now, for today, we've got a little bit of a complex. We're gonna go through 6 rounds, alternating sides every 2 minutes. The goal here though is you have 90 seconds of work followed with a 30-second rest period before we transition to the other side. Now, we're gonna start off on the ground. We're gonna go through Turkish get-up, into 2 windmills, into 3 to 6 single arm overhead squats. If we are limited in that overhead squat position, we'll talk a little bit about what we're gonna do to modify. But at the end of the complex, we're gonna hold our kettlebell in a front rack position for the rest of that 90-second work period. Once we finish that 90 seconds, rest 30 seconds, and then repeat on the other side. Once we finish that out, we've got a 12-minute AMRAP. 4 rounds for time with a 12-minute cap going into 8 hang clean to push press, followed with a calorie row, 20 and 25 calorie row. So, talking about our kettlebell complex. When we set ourselves up, the big thing is, we've talked a little about the rack position and how we want to hold that kettlebell in our hands. When I set up, I'm gonna roll to my side. I'm gonna push my hand in nice and deep so I've got that false grip position on the kettlebell. I can use my non-working arm to assist, to stack, then organize. I'm setting my shoulder back and down. From here, plant the foot, leg out, arm to the side. We're gonna stack ourselves up, sit up, come up on the hips, slide that foot through, stand up, and then we're set. Once we get into this position, we're gonna go and organize ourselves for the windmills. Toes are pointing away from the hand that's overhead, and then we need to unlock our hips. I like to use my free non-working arm to slide down the thighs to make sure I'm working in that path. Now the goal here is to maintain straight legs, so if we find ourselves running out of range of motion in the hamstrings, just stop and then finish back at the top. But make sure we unlock the hips before we go down. Otherwise, we're gonna find ourselves bending in our spine, not a good position. After 2 of those guys, we're gonna keep this weight stacked out overhead for 3 to 6 overhead squats. Now, if we're not feeling this kettlebell overhead, that's fine, we can modify to a dumbbell. But the idea is, once we finish those overhead squats, we're coming back down to this front rack, thumb is staying inside the collarbone. If we need to use some assistance from the non-working arm just to kind of support, that's fine. But we're not resting it here, and we're not holding it out here. We're keeping it tight for a march in place until 90 seconds up, and then you have a 30-second transition to go to the other side, okay? Now, once we finish that whole complex, we've got 3 on each side, 6 total reps, 6 total sets. Then we're gonna go into our 4 rounds for time with a 12-minute cap of a hang clean to push press with a light to moderate weight. Stand it up, get organized, position 1 or 2, anywhere between, push or clean to overhead. It is a push press, we are not jerking it. So if we can cycle through it, that's great. If we find ourselves having to stop to reset, to dip drive, that's awesome too. But if we find ourselves getting soft in those knees, that is a no rep. Once we finish 8 of these guys, we're gonna hop on a rower. Ladies have 20, guys got 25 calories. Hammer down and have fun.